Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're going to be getting the show started in just a few more minutes to give everybody a chance to get settled in. Reminder that, as always, Thursday's live stream is a free show, so do not feel obligated to tip. But if you'd like to help support Don and all he's doing, there are links in all of the various chats to do so. Thanks for your patience. See you guys soon. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're going to get the show started in about 1 more minute. Just a reminder that, as always, every Thursday, this is a free show, so do not feel obligated to tip. But if you would like to donate there, if you feel moved to support, there are links in all of the various chats to do so. Thanks for your patience. We'll get started in just a moment.
Hello, everyone. Hey, go like this if you can hear me. Good deal. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday Night with Don White. I want to welcome my friends here on Zoom. I want to welcome my friends over here. This is where YouTube is. Hello, friends on YouTube. Welcome. And then my friends over here on Facebook. Hello, Facebook people over there. If you could share this out to your friends, that would be great. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to let you know how the night is going to lay out. So I'm going to come out right now and talk a little bit about what's going to happen. So the first thing is, those of you that are on the Zoom part of this, we want to unmute as many of you as is reasonable. So that means if you're in a quiet place, no dogs going to bark, no fire engines going by, whatever, a place that is relatively quiet, we want you to raise your hands and we will unmute you. And that way, we can have some interaction so it don't feel like I'm just playing to a screen, which makes me crazy. So Tommy and Marlene have already raised their hands, but Brandon's going to show you how to do this on Zoom if you don't know how. Here's a little tutorial. So if you go down to the participants window, which should be at the bottom of your screen, the participants window, right there is the two sort of torsos, I guess, the top part of two human beings, like right there, whose heads are separated from their bodies, I just noticed. And you click on that, it opens up a window, and there is the blue hand of freedom, the blue hand of sound. There it is right there. If you click on that, you're telling us that you are in a relatively quiet place and we will unmute you. So don't worry if you do get noisy or something like that as the night progresses. Brandon, our technician, will monitor that and he'll shut you off and turn you on. If during the night or during the course of the program you decide that you want it to be muted and then unmuted again, just send Brandon a little note in the chat and he will unmute you. So this way we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people unmuted. That's not too bad. And we're going to test it now. I'm going to count to 3, and when I get to 3, all of you that are unmuted, I want you to laugh as if I just said the funniest thing that ever happened in the history of Zoom. 1, 2, 3, go ahead, laugh. Woo! As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have just figured out how to make an interactive concert here in this stupid world that we're living in. So as we go through the night, I'll keep reminding people because more people will pop in here to this part of the program. But so I'm going to introduce Marcia Stone to you in a minute. She's going to talk a little bit about the temple and my history with them and their history of helping the community. And then she's going to introduce our opening act, who's going to do a song. Then I will play from after when she's done with her song till about 8:15, somewhere between 8:20 and 8:30, somewhere in there, depending on how it's going. And then we will have an after party. And tonight, the after party guests are Janet Feld and Tom Prasado Rao. So we're really excited about that, and we'll get to chat and talk in there. So without further ado, let me introduce to you from Greenfield, Massachusetts, formerly of Lynn, Massachusetts, I might say, Marcia Stone. Now let's applaud like a real concert. Yay!
Woo-hoo. Hi, everybody, and welcome. On behalf of Temple Israel Greenfield, welcome to our first Don White Zoom concert. Hopefully our first and last virtual gathering. So we're all looking forward to next year, 2021, when we can hopefully be in person again. So Don's been performing here in the Valley many years. Every year he shows up. I don't know why he keeps doing that, but he just loves us, I guess, and we love him. So we appreciate that he's been willing to perform and interact with us on this virtual platform. So just to let you know a little bit about the temple, even though the temple building is officially closed, there are lots of programs, events, and services still happening. So check out our website if you're interested, www.templeisraelgreenfield.org. See what's happening for the rest of the year. So many of us are longtime fans of Don. I'm wondering, are there any new people here who've never seen him before? Give us a little hand. No, I can't see you all, so I'm assuming you're all old-time fans. So welcome everybody again. And just a reminder, this is a free concert as mentioned, but donations to support musicians and Temple Israel appreciated. Links will be displayed throughout the night. So thanks very much for showing up, everybody. It's half the battle if you just show up, right? So to start the evening off, we have singer-songwriter from Wakefield, Mass. And she has a lovely voice. Her name is Kirsten Manville. So let's give her a nice warm welcome.
Thanks, Martha. Thank you, everyone. It's really nice to be here tonight to start the show off with a song. I'm happy to see you all virtually. There's floors to wash, laundry to fold, food in the fridge that's pretty damn old, bills to pay and the lawn to mow, but I think I'll just play my guitar. I wonder about God and the meaning of life, all the shades of gray between black and white. This wondering could keep me up all night, but I think I'll just play my guitar. I think I'll sit here with my old six string and strum the day away. My worries and cares all disappear every time I play. Well, there's been broken hearts and broken dreams, days I don't fit in my favorite jeans, but nothing's ever as bad as it seems if I just play my guitar. You all can probably tell I started to write this song when I should have been cleaning my house. I think I'll sit here with my old six string and strum the day away. My worries and cares all disappear every time I play. Well, there's been broken hearts and broken dreams, days I don't fit in my favorite pair of jeans, but nothing's ever as bad as it seems if I just play my guitar. So I think I'll just play my guitar. Yeah, I think I'll just play my guitar.
Oh, thanks, Kristen. That was great.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much. Like I said, it's my pleasure and honor to be here tonight opening the show for Don. I've known Don for many years now, and he is always so generous with his wisdom and advice and support that he gives me. And I am really looking forward to the show, which I know will be full of laughs and maybe a few tears even. Please welcome Mr. Don White.
Hey! Wow! Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm just looking through my list here. It's so nice to see you all. We've got Kansas, hello, Alan. Nebraska is here. We got friends from Michigan and from California. And some of our favorite, our people who come every week are here. Sarah and Neil Braderman, and they'll all teach you how to be excellent Zoom participants because they're creating this new thing called how to be an excellent Zoom audience. And everyone pay attention to Sarah because she's the queen of the whole thing. There she is right there. Look at that. All right, so I'm gonna just play some songs here and let's see what happens here. I'm gonna start this one out for my wife. I have been married for 42 years. Come on, congratulate me. Come on, everybody.
Woo-hoo!
All right. Woo!
This is a song, and so here's a song I wrote for her because she's a wise guy and she's really funny and sassy, and that keeps us married because I get bored easy. I need somebody to be just a little quicker than me, and she's she's a lot quicker than me. In the 18, 19, 30, 42 years that we have been wed, I wondered if you ever heard a word I said. Till I said, pass that remote control over here, and you told me to blow it out my ear. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad and you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. When my fans call up and say that I'm great, you tell them that is a huge mistake. That if they had to live with me, they would understand what a big pain in the ass I am. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad and you make me laugh. Please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. There are men who like women that they can dominate. Bring them breakfast in bed and always tell them that they're great. Well, my sassy lady never does that for me, but at least a life with her is definitely not boring. She says if you want me to believe that you're great, do a couple loads of laundry around here someday. Hey pal, it's only because you're still kinda cute that I haven't already gone rid of you. I love you, you're a sassy brat. You make me mad and you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. Hang on a second. You say the kids have both gone to the show. How about a little quickie before they come home? And I say, hey, I suppose you think you're really slick, the way that you keep emphasizing little and quick. It's not that funny. I'm not that sure I love you, you're a sassy brat. You hurt my big fat ego and you make me mad. Please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. Sassy bratty lady has been hanging around here, driving me crazy. 42 years, if I could ever afford to see a psychiatrist, I'd ask him why the hell do I like being treated like this? We were in bed, but we were still awake. You said I really love you in this life we've made. I said, hey, can I quote you on what you just said? You told me if I did, you'd punch me in the head. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad, you'll make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. I hope it's not too much to ask. Let me grow older. I think last week we decided that I have to change that to dist. Oldest. With my sassy brat.
All right, go.
I've got $300 bills that are all brand new. They are begging me to think of something cool to do. How about I'll take you downtown and spend them all on you? I don't wanna stay home tonight. We have worked so hard for so many years, built a home, a life, a family, and 2 careers. Saved our money for the future, now the future's here. I don't wanna stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me, how it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Me and Michael, Johnny, Richard, Ruthie, and Joan all had bouts with cancer last year. You know, if cancer was a man, I'd punch him in the throat. I don't wanna stay home tonight. 'Cause time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and it wipes the slate clean. I don't wanna stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me, how it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Well, I know we can't party like we did before. Can't stay out till 4 in the morning no more. But the house is paid off and the kids are all grown. What the hell have we been working for? Let's take a nap, take our inhalers, take a multivitamin, and then go out to hear some music with all of our friends who didn't die from the way we used to party back then. I don't want to stay home tonight, 'cause time isn't sentimental. It doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and it wipes the slate clean. I don't want to stay home tonight. Can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me, how it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home, can't stay home. I can't stay home again tonight.
Look at Jen's baby. Jen's baby's having a good time.
That's Jen's baby. Hey, spotlight Jen's baby, Brandon, just so we can see. This is the Dawn's White youngest fan right there. There she is. Do we still have that photograph, Brandon, of her with the T-shirt on? Can you find that? Do you know?
I don't know. I'll look for it, but I'm not sure if I still have
later.
that one.
So this is Jen. She's been seeing me since she was not much older than that kid she's got on her lap right there right now. And so I'm trying to live long enough to make money off this next generation of kids. I don't know if it's possible or not, but okay. So let's spotlight her now. You know, you can't let all the artists in the room tonight. All artists know that you cannot let children into your concert because they will steal the show from you as fast as can be.
I can't turn away, Don. I can't look away.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, so for those of you that are new tonight, especially over here on the Zoom part, but wherever you are, we do this every week, and we just try to have as much fun as possible and simulate community. We've got the sort of unmute thing happening. If you're over here if you just came into the Zoom part and you want to be unmuted and you're in a relatively quiet place, raise your hands or ask Brandon in the chat room to unmute you, and we'll get as many people as we can unmuted so it feels like a concert. That's right. And so let's try to make it feel like a concert. I want to say hi to my friend Alan from Kansas. Alan, we missed you, buddy. Good to see you. All right, so here. I haven't played this one for quite a long time, so let me do this. This is the title of from 2 albums ago. It's called More Alive. I lost my mother. I lost my father. Well, I really didn't lose them. I know exactly where they both are. It's not like they went for a walk, took a wrong turn and both got lost. It just hurts less to say I lost them than to say they're dead. Betty May is 82. She's having more fun than me and you. All she wants to do is laugh and sing. She's the biggest flirt I ever seen. Still flutters those baby blues like she did when she was 22. So much mischief in those eyes. I never seen someone more alive. More alive, more alive, waiting on the other side of all the sorrow and the trouble in your life. There are so many sad goodbyes in a long and well-lived life. If they don't break you, they can make you more alive. When my mother died, I was so smashed up inside. I was crying like a baby. I thought the pain might kill me. Betty said, son, you won't believe how many loved ones I buried. My father, sister, my brother, son, my husband, and my mother. And every time I lose a friend, I think I'm never going to laugh again. I lay around and watch bad TV till this feeling comes over me. And then I put some music on and play my favorite song. Dance around my living room like I did when I was 22. And shake loose of that pain inside on the day when I decide not only will I survive, I am going to be more alive. More alive, more alive, waiting on the other side of all the sorrow and the trouble in your life. There are so many sad goodbyes in a long and well-lived life. If they don't break you, they can make you more alive. She said, go ahead, feel your pain. Watch bad TV for days. But when you're ready to come out and play, yo, come see Betty May. And we'll put some music on and play your favorite song. Dance around my living room like we both were 22. And shake loose of that pain inside on the day when you decide not only will you survive, you are going to be more alive. More alive, more alive, waiting on the other side of all the sorrow and the trouble in your life. There are so many sad goodbyes in a long and well-lived life. If they don't break you, they can make you more alive. There are so many sad goodbyes in a long and well-lived life. if they don't break you. In time, they can make you more alive.
Beautiful, Don.
Beautiful. Love that
it.
song.
Woo! Love it, John.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you,
Yes.
Neil. So the hollering out about what you like after the songs is a really nice Zoom fan thing to do. The not hollering out between songs when you don't like it is also a very nice thing to do. Teaching you how to behave here on Zoom. And no wife and a husband. They had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what he did. He smoked a lot of marijuana. He snorted cocaine too. Told his parents he was gonna drop out of school. The father pounded on the table. The mother hollered and she screamed. They ran him down to the doctor. Doctor, what's this mean? Put them all on Prozac, right then and right there. He said, you'll still have your problems, but now you just won't care. And he prescribed a little therapy, some supplementary drugs, but he didn't write a script out for a little more love, just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end, when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. No wife and a husband, and they had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what she did. She said, Mom, I'm sleeping over Susan's. That was just a big fat lie. What she really was doing was staying out all night. And when her parents found out, they cried boo-hoo-hoo. And then they called the radio talk show. They asked him, what should we do? He said, send her off to boot camp. That was his advice. It was good for his ratings, but it wasn't very nice. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing. At least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end, when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. I can see that you're a tough guy. You won't be pushed around. You are not going to take it. You're good at putting your foot down. You might get killed by lightning. You might get hit by a truck. But if you are not that lucky, you might just wind up spending years in a rest home without a whole lot to do. But look back on what you did with the time God gave you. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing. At least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end, when you are done, you know it might look a little bit. A big, rough, tough guy to see a little more love. Might look a little better. See a little more love.
Oh, Don. All
All
right.
right, John. Woo!
Go Don.
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me look at
Yay.
you. All right, so let's see who's here. Hi, Shannon. So New Mexico in the house now. Marcia, hello. How you doing? All right, so there you all are. Look at you representing the whole hunk of the country. So we have a lot of people unmuted, more than normal. So that makes me tempted to tell a story. I don't like to tell
Story.
stories when I can't get a lot of feedback in the middle of them. But because we have this here, let me tell you this story that I've been working on for the last year or so. I want to send the story out to my friend Alan D. Bay in Kansas, and my friends the Hansons from Nebraska, who both run storytelling festivals, actually, or are highly involved in them. So this is a story about the state of Maine. That's right. I moved to Maine in the 70s, and the reason I moved there was because I wanted to become famous. That's right. It was the first in a series of really interesting business decisions on my part. Moving to Maine to become famous was kind of like moving to the moon to become famous. It wasn't a real solid business idea. And prior to that, I had just hitchhiked for 3 years. My wife and I hitchhiked. Do you believe that? You're looking at somebody in front of like this Grateful Dead stuff here back here who actually hitchhiked for 3 years of his life. Right? When I say that, I feel like the last guy who worked at a buggy whip factory or something like that. Right? But it's true. Hitchhiked, stood on the highway hitchhiked to Alaska in 1975. And at that point, the Alcan Highway was dirt. It was a dirt road. We stood on this dirt road, and it was first day we had peanut butter and jelly and bread, and then a couple of days later, still in the same spot, just peanut butter and bread. And after that, peanut butter. What do you call it? A la finger. That's right. And that's what we did. And we just met all kinds of interesting, weird people. I hung around in ashrams and met vegetarians and Baha'is. I'm from Lynn, Massachusetts. I'm not supposed to know what a Baha'i is or ashram or anything, but because I hitchhiked and traveled, my world just got expanded. So after this was over, and we decided to move to Maine, right? I had no marketable skills, none. I couldn't do anything. I was an excellent hitchhiker, but it wasn't really jumping off the resume, I guess is what I say there with that. And so I couldn't find a job, and the people who lived there, they didn't like us. They weren't shy about telling us about it either. They would call us Flatlanders. Have you ever heard that before? Flatlanders? Like, you know what it means? When someone from Maine calls you a Flatlander, it means you ain't from here, and you ain't ever gonna be from here, and don't expect to be from here. There's no uncertain terms there. And so the guy who lived across the street from me, his name was Wilbur, and Wilbur tortured us with that Flatlander stuff all the time, just telling us that and at first I thought that he and all the neighbors hated us, but eventually I figured out that we were like entertainment for them. There wasn't a lot to do up there. They had 2 channels on their TV sets and nothing to do. So they gossiped and they had like a pool. I imagined that they had a pool. Well, who's got January 14th for the date that these 2 hippies die in that house they freeze to death over there, right? So we were entertainment for them, and they were mean to us, but nice to us too. Like, I don't understand that, but that's a kind of a Maine thing or a country thing. Like, they never let us stop knowing that we weren't welcome or from there, but they would kind of helped us not die. Like Wilbur ran the hose underneath the street through the culvert so that we could have running water in the summertime, or when it wasn't frozen, which I think in that year what would have been 1980 probably, I think, up there. Then at that point, that summer, that year, there might have been 5 weeks or 6 weeks that weren't frozen that year, right? So we had running water, and that's the way it worked for us there, And Wilbur, when our son was born, he was born in that house. He was born with a midwife. Midwife came to the house and delivered the baby with a technician in a house with no running water and a 2-seater outhouse. My parents were so proud of me. My father kept asking me, do you remember when you were a kid and I dropped you on your head? Is this what happened? Is this the reason that you think this is a way to live with an outhouse in your house here? I'm like, Dad, I'm just trying to get back to the earth, man. And he's like, I don't know what that means, but if it means being dirt poor the rest of your life, you, son, are doing a hell of a job. So the son was born there. Low budget birth, $400 for prenatal care, postnatal care, and delivery. $400. I had a $400 baby. I had like a Walmart baby, right? Like, it costs $400 to talk to a doctor on the phone for 2 minutes now. But here we had this little low budget baby, and we brought him over to Wilbur because we were cocky now. We're like, Wilbur, you can say what you want about us, but But this is a Mainer. See this kid right here? He's a Mainer. He was born in that house across the street in the state of Maine, and you can't pretend that this ain't a Mainer. And this is what he said to me, and I want you to appreciate how funny this is. Funny slash mean. It's one of the funniest slash meanest things I've ever heard, and I've never forgotten it. I go, Wilbur, this is a Mainer. And he said, well, if your cat crawls in the oven and has kittens, you don't call them biscuits now, do you? I'm like, Wilbur, that hurt. That left a mark, Wilbur. So I finally got a job. I got a job as a custodian in a nursing home, and that's really what I want to talk to you about here. I was 20 years old, I think, or something like that, not much older than that, and I had a new baby and no marketable skills. I was making the minimum wage. It was costing me more money to go to work than, I had more bills than I had money, right? And I couldn't project into the future how I was going to make a living, how I was going to be able to take care of these people that were counting on me. And I woke up every morning with my heart just racing with the fear of the future. And I see it in young people now. I see that look in their eye, like, how am I ever going to be able to function in this world? And from the minute I opened my eyes to the time I went to bed, my heart just raced because I couldn't imagine how I could make a living in this world. I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't go to college. I just knew how to stick my thumb out and meet hippies. That's all I knew how to do, right? So I got this job, and it turned out to be one of the most important things that ever happened to me, because I was at the beginning of my adult life. I was trying to figure out who I was going to be, and I was surrounded by people whose stories were ending. It was a fascinating juxtaposition. I was just stepping out, trying to figure out who I was going to be, the road I was going to take to be something, and I was surrounded by people who were at the end of that road, and I just was absorbing it. If you live a certain kind of life, this is what it looks like at the end. If you live a different kind of life, this is what it looks like at the end. And I just was drinking this all in. In one corner of the building was a guy, and I'll never forget him. His name was Mr. Bishop, and he was the saddest person I've ever laid eyes on in my life. Just imagine, I'm 63 years old. Imagine how many sad people I've met in my life. Just kind of picture how many I've met today, actually, just today, right? So, and he is the king of them. He's like Shakespearean sad, tragic, because, and it's interesting why, because he wasn't evil, he wasn't mean, he just wasn't kind. Okay, so he was just a guy who went to work, came home, yelled at his wife, had a few beers, went hunting, pushed people out of the way to get the job he wanted. He was just that guy, right? He wasn't a let me help you guy, right? He was just a, grumble, go to work guy, right? And he was smart enough to know at the end of his life, when he was only going from that nursing home bed to the ground, that everything he did, all his memories, everything he did in his life weren't going to give him any peace because they didn't have any kindness in them. And his realization of that, when it was too late, when he couldn't, he would have given me his whole life savings, I thought, if I could have just sent him backwards for a month to spread I love yous around and let me help yous around, so that he could hold them in his hand at the end. But it was too late, and I hated going in his room. I didn't understand it really, but I just knew it was the darkest. It was like a cloud over his bed. It was just tragic in there. And so, some rooms in there reeked of, bodily fluids, but his reeked of despair. His room reeked of despair. And on the other side of the building was Maddie Campbell. Maddie Campbell was 89 years old in 1979, something like that. And so she was born in the 1890s. In her room, the sun was always shining. It was always bright in her room. I always thought she had a southern exposure, but dummy, the light was coming from her. She looked back on her life, and it was decade upon decade of kindness and generosity and doing the right thing and not wanting anything back from it. And so she just glowed. She just glowed. She didn't need to go back and change a single thing. Here I am, 20, dumb as a post, but I'm smart enough to say, I'm not sure how you become like Maddie Campbell at the end and not Mr. Bishop, but I gotta figure this out because I want sunshine in my room at the end, right? And so Maddie Campbell adopted me. She adopted me, and I would get my work done in 2 hours, janitor, and I would like pull my chair up beside her and I complain to her about how hard my life was, and I feel bad about it now. I mean, but I was complaining about having to hitchhike in the snow back and forth to work because I didn't have a car, and to a woman who didn't see a combustion engine till she was in her 30s or something. And she grew up in the most difficult, frozen, economically depressed corner of America in 1920 and 1910, and I was complaining to her, and she would just lay there with her eyes closed like this, and eventually she'd open one eye and ask me, "Are you sure you're being honest with yourself?" And I would muster some feeble retort, and she would just wave me off like this, like go think about that. I'm tired now. Come back tomorrow. And she was funny. She was funny. Like, I would have loved her if she wasn't funny, but the fact that she was really funny just sealed the deal for me. One time she handed me a piece of paper. I go, "What's this?" She goes, "This is my epitaph." I opened it up and it said, "Here lies Maddie. She had 1,000,000 ills. It wasn't those that killed her. It was the 500,000 pills." And I just adored her, and she kept just handing me these little pieces of wisdom from this amazing life, and little by little my heart just started to not race as much, and I could notice over the months that I was with her every day, like I was the only person she ever saw, and then she had no family or anything, and I just couldn't wait to be with her. I'd bring my guitar in and play for her sometimes and all that, and I could tell that her the sort of graceful way she was just sort of spoon feeding me wisdom was changing giving me hope that maybe even somebody like me might be able to function in the world at some sort of capacity. And I'll give you one example, and then I'll wrap this story up. But I was complaining to her about having to borrow money from my dad. I had to borrow $400, and I knew he'd give it to me, but I was so sick of people helping me. I was just like, my pride was wounded, I was like, "Maddie, I know he'll give it to me, but I don't want to take money from it. I want to be able to do this on my own. I don't want people to be helping me all the time." And she said, "It's your responsibility to let the people who love you help you." I go, "No, it is not my responsibility." And she said, "How do you feel when somebody you love is in trouble and you're able to help them?" And I said, "That's different." That's different. I like that feeling. She goes, "Do you love it?" I go, "As a matter of fact, I do love it." She goes, "Why would you deny the people who love you this feeling that you love so much?" And I'm telling you, boys and girls in the little squares here tonight, that it just made the inside of my head pop. I could feel synapses being created to accommodate a new piece of information that I wouldn't have come across on my own, I guarantee you, till I was in my 50s, right? She just kind of spoon-fed it to me, and little by little, my heart was just not, I could calm down just a little bit at the possibility that a dope like me might be able to survive in this world, right? And then she died, and of course I was heartbroken and alone. I felt alone. I knew I had to put my big boy pants on. Nobody was going to wave me off and tell me to think about it. No more spoon feeding me of wisdom. I had to figure it out myself. And that night I had a dream, and in the dream, Maddie was in the dream, and I walked up to her, and she had her hands cupped like this. And when I got close to her, she opened them up, and inside her hands were thousands of sparkling diamonds. And I knew it. As soon as I saw the diamonds, I knew what it meant. I knew it in the middle of the dream. I knew it at being 20 years old. I knew exactly what was happening. Every moment that you spend in this life, where you do the right thing, not because you want something back, but just because it's the right thing to do. Every moment in your life where you do the kind thing, it gets compressed into a diamond. And Maddie Campbell's last gift to me in this dream was to show me the thousands and thousands of sparkling moments of a life well lived at a time when I didn't need, that was the most important thing I needed to know. And she wasn't showing them to me to show me how many there were or anything. She was showing them to me so that I could see the look of peace on her face at the end of her life as she gazed upon a life full of sparkling moments. And at the end of the dream, she called me over and said this sentence into my ear, which I have thought about all my life. I mean, none of this happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, this was a dream, but it affected me tremendously. And I'm going to let her say it to you all. She would be 130 something years old now, so there's no chance of you meeting her. But I think it's a nice way for me to acknowledge her memory to let her speak through me to you. And so the end of this dream was one sentence, and this was it. In the end, the person with the most diamonds wins.
Hey,
Hi, Maddie Campbell.
hey, Maddie.
All right. So I'm gonna play another song. I'm gonna play till around 8 o'clock. Another song, maybe 2, and then we'll take a short break. It's not an intermission. What we do is we put the information up where you can donate, and PayPal, or if PayPal or Venmo. If you're like me and that stuff is intimidating, we put a mailing address. You can take your feather pen out and dip it in the ink like that, and take your piece of parchment and write a check out, like probably a promissory note it would have been in those days, right? Out and write it and put it through the U.S. mail, the Pony Express. Send it into the Pony Express, and it'll go to the temple, and then we'll figure it out later. So I've been hanging around with poets in the last bunch of years, and this song is really affected by poets. Like, poets are ruining my songwriting. That's what I think. Because now here's a song that is completely wordy. It's got too many words in it, and then I forget to put things, because I'm hanging around with poets. I spend months writing a song, and I forget to include things like a chorus. And here's an example of that. And this, I've been playing it for everybody most weeks, but I want you to, just want to play it. The idea is that this is for people who were raised by people who weren't well enough to raise them. You know how if your parents had drug problems or alcohol problems or mental health issues or some problem like that, and you didn't get what you needed out of them, but somehow you turned out to be kind when you didn't know kindness, to be nurturing to your children when you didn't know it, you had to find it on your own. I just wanted everyone to know that I appreciate the miracle of that. There's no reason for that to happen. You should be just like them because that's what you saw, but somehow in your heart or in your life or somehow you figured out how to be all the good things that you weren't brought up with. And so this song is called That's What Makes You Beautiful, and it's a wordy little baby, but we're gonna go after it right here. You were taught by your world that empathy and kindness were the kind of things that made a person weak. They said push and grab and fight every minute of your life, and trample those between you and what you believe you need. But from the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all the years of fear and insecurity, singing cruelty is always weak, but love and empathy are strong enough to break the chains of selfishness and greed. Gentle is the strongest thing to be. You know it is not your fault that heroin and alcohol made them both too ill to give their children what they really need. But it sure would have been nice to be encouraged once or twice, to feel safe at night, or to have a life with just a little normalcy. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. When you feel hatred in your heart, you just remember who you are, and that underneath the weight of hate, your heart cannot be free. Forgiving is the strongest thing to be. It's not the color of your eyes, not your hypnotizing smile. It's not any of the many things that everyone can see. It's the way you always knew what they told you wasn't true. It's how you made yourself the person that they taught you not to be. That's what makes you beautiful to me. A young man's eyes see beauty in what is on the surface, not within. He will walk past what is beautiful to be near the thing that shines. But these old man's eyes find beauty in the story and the journey. They have seen too much to be fooled by what attracts a young man's eyes. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. There was nothing that this world could do to crush the love inside of you. Under neglect, abuse, and selfishness, you were caring, kind, and generous. It is the lonely road that brought you here. It's how all alone you persevered. It's the defiance and tenacity of your heart song of humanity. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful to me.
Beautiful, Dawn.
Thanks, Dawn.
Love that song.
Love it. I love that song.
Thank you. I'm feeling good tonight. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I feel good. I'm happy about the world and the big mess that it is. I just feel good, So here I'm gonna take a break now, just 3 minutes or so, just to so I can splash some water on my face. Then I'll be back and I'll play to about 20 past or so. But let me talk about that song for a minute and Poets, right? So like that is a wordy tune, right? If you were just imagine if you were my record company or a man, like say, what are we supposed to do with this thing? It doesn't have a chorus. It's got 3 long, gigantic words. People are like falling asleep in the middle of it. It's not a rock and roll song. It doesn't have a backbeat. My job now, it seems like, is to write the most unmarketable things humanly possible. That's my goal in this life, and I think I'm succeeding pretty well with that one. Don't you think now, boys and girls? All right, now. But I have decided, like the last bunch of my songs have been that way. They've been these great wordy little novellas. But I set a goal now, and I'm gonna the next song that I write is gonna be primal, and it's gonna go like this. It's gonna go. Let's see if I can remember it. Boom chaka wang wang, boom chaka wang, a boom chaka wang wang, boom chaka wang. It's gonna have no substance, nothing. Like I could write it like I spent months on that last song, right? It's gonna go nowhere. I write this song, it'll be the biggest hit in my whole career, and I could write it while I'm eating a sandwich and doing a trigonometry test, and just I love you, pretty mama, let me see that thing. Boom chaka wang wang, boom chaka wang. It writes itself. So just want you to know that I'm turning the page in my career now. Eventually you'll be coming to my concerts and saying, Dawn, we really like your wordy novellas, but I brought my mom and my dad, and we really wanted to hear a little more boom chaka wang wang. So keep that in mind as we go forward in this world. I'll be back in 3 minutes. And if you can donate, please do. And we're all trying to survive here. If you're struggling, do not worry about it. I love you wherever you are and whatever you're doing. You're welcome where I am. But if you got a couple bucks to put into the ramen noodle fund for Dawn White and to help out the temple a little bit and all the good work that they do, try to do that, and we'll be happy. And I'll be back in 3 minutes.
love you, big mama, let me say that thing. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang. When I see you chucka wang, it makes me wanna sing. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang. My mom wants me to read and try to use my brain, but I just wanna see my baby boom chucka wang. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang. The DJ at the wedding is so damn lame. To get this party jumping, play boom chucka wang. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang. Break it down. Boom. Ow. Boom. Ow. Chucka wang wang. Ow. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang. Boom chucka wang wang, boom chucka wang.
Should we heat up the,
Oh my goodness, that cracked me up.
I want Kirsten to know that this song is the exact 4 chords that she was in the song that she played earlier. So we're bookending this event right here with these chords right here. Play this song for my friend Janet because I know she likes it. Shandy's grandma went to Woodstock back in 1969. She keeps her ticket stub and a chunk of mud at her house in a little shrine. She was always the girl in the hippie dress twirling at the shows by the Grateful Dead. If you ask her about it, you better sit down, Grandma will talk the ears right off your head. If you get her talking about the Grateful Dead, the Summer of Love or the Kool-Aid acid test. Jenny was always in her glory when she could hear the stories from her grandma's hippie friends about peace and love, taking care of one another, how great it all was back then. And at night she would dream of being on the bus with Keezy, seeing Jimmy in 69. When she wasn't dreaming, always had the feeling somehow she'd been born in the wrong time. You know, you should have been 20 in 1969. All the gray-haired hippies say that all the time. But the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute, if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. I love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said, be there then. It's gonna take a big leap of faith if you really want to find your tribe. Those were the first words Jenny heard in a song that she found online. And that summer she drove all the way to Minnesota to the Shangri-La Festival. There they all were, all the people like her who grew up believing that they were all alone. They said, hey girl, welcome home. Because the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are driving down the road all the way to Minnesota, having all kinds of fun singing. Jimmy and Jerry are dead and buried and they're never coming back again. I love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said, be there then. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock in 1969. And since then she believed there was never going to be a better time, and that's alright. But if you don't take your big leap of faith and get out there and find your scene, it will pass you by while you are trying to find your grandma's long gone Woodstock memories. Her Woodstock memories. While the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute, if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said, be there then.
Done. Awesome.
The crowd goes wild. The crowd is going wild.
Peace, love, dove.
Peace, love. Peace, love, dope, we used to say. All right.
That's another option.
All right, let me look at you. I want to take just a minute and just thank you all. You have no idea what this means to me to be able to perform. I was on the road 90 shows a year up till March. You know, the last show I did was for Alan. Is he still here? Did he have to leave? There he is right there for Alan D. Bay in Kansas. My last concert was in Downs, Kansas. So that's right, the thriving metropolis of Downs, Kansas. It was a wonderful event. I treasure it. But the idea that we can be together and under this format so we can talk a little bit and chat and can feel like a real event. It means a lot to me, and we're also helping to raise money for things every week that we believe in, venues and nonprofits and food pantries and all that. So going forward, if you know anybody that's a little worn out or down or whatever, you send them to me on Thursday night. I'll take care of them, and I don't fake it. Like when I don't feel good enough, I take the night off. I'm not gonna come up here and pretend that I'm happy for you. I'm gonna do it, take care of myself and do it. So, thank you. I'm gonna play. So do two more songs. I'm gonna do this one song, then I'm gonna play a song that my friend Marlene and Tommy asked me to play last week and I didn't get to. And then we'll take another 2-minute break and we'll go to our after party where we have. Where we get to hang around with people and talk the way we did in the old days. If we were at a venue, we would shut the door, let some of the audience hang around with us, and we would jam and hang around and chat. That's the thing that we're missing. So we're kind of simulating that here tonight. You'd think I would know what to play now, but I really don't.
We know you will.
Yell something out. Who wants to hear something? Do you know who I am or why you're here or anything? Anybody? Huh?
Stupid.
Stupid. All right, here you go. Sure. Sarah likes all the ones that get me in trouble.
Or else the ones he has to change the guitar for.
That's right. My wife said stupid is a bad word, Don.
But it's a great song.
It is, I agree.
This is one of these ones that, because I started out playing it, for people in my hometown, Lynn, rough and tumble people, and then for people in recovery. So I had some more flexibility with the subject matter I could use. Then I started playing for Unitarians in the suburbs, and lo and behold, there was a whole mess of landmines out there. I kept stepping in. And this one was kind of on the cusp of it. It doesn't, if this is real to you, then you lived a life kind of like me and my kids and my parents. If not, it's okay. These are the days when your hair turns all gray and your naivete starts slipping away, when your teenage children prove themselves to be exactly as stupid as you used to be. Stupid, your kids are doomed to be stupid. The curse your mama put on you came true. I hope your kids grow up and act just like you. It's a 4th of July party and the whole family's there. Little kids, teenagers, and adults everywhere. Your Uncle Charlie says, have you seen my beer? I left a case of Budweiser sitting right over here. 2 hours later, your son's on his knees, puking his guts out, crying, kill me, God, please. I think this is the part that hits hard in the Unitarian. Kind of lands with a thud, you know what I mean? And you say, pardon me, son, have you any idea what might have happened to Uncle Charlie's case of a beer? And he looks up at you with death on his face and says, honest Dad, it must have been something I ate. Stupid. This kid thinks his dad is stupid. The curse your mama put on you came true. I hope your kids grow up and act just like you. You take all your worst qualities and all of your wife's, you stir them up together till they're blended just right, and then you let that simmer for about 14 years with 5 pounds of attitude and a couple of beers, and you pour that concoction in a big baking bowl. You add 10 pounds of hormones that are out of control, and what you've created will go by the name of the everything that sucks about you both souffle. That's right. My mom is laughing her head off. She is rolling on the floor. She's saying, "Stop it, Dawn. I can't take this anymore." Because the funniest thing that my mom has ever seen is me yelling at my kids for behaving like me.
Woo!
Nailed it.
Right. It's at this moment that the church decides not to hire me back again. That's generally what happens there with that one. All right, now. Thank you. We'll do this one song, and again, we'll take just like a 2-minute break, just to remind you how you can donate and help out, and then we'll be back with our after party. Janet Feld, Kirsten Manville will come back and sing for us too, and then I'm really excited about having everybody tonight. But Tom Prasado Rao's here too, so this is really exciting for all of us.
After party.
Yeah.
So, but like I say every week, if you've got a long ride home, don't let us keep you, okay?
Don't miss it.
Hey, all right, so here we go. There is a little girl with pretty curls. She's about 5 years old, and she is waiting at the gate for her dad to come home. When he pulls around the corner in his shiny white car, she feels the magic light up in her heart. And he picks her up and he holds her. He says he missed her. He's glad that she is here. As the child lays her head on his shoulder, she whispers these words in his ear. Daddy, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now she is 20 and there's plenty of love everywhere. She's getting married, so her family and her friends are all there. They've gathered this morning to stand at her side as she waves goodbye to this time in her life. And they each take a moment to hold her and to tell her what she means to them. In a world that seems to keep getting colder, she has been blessed with a warm family and friends. She says, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. They are older and no one told her it got crazy like this. They're going to night school, they're working jobs too, and they're raising 3 kids. The youngest one is crying with a bruise on her knee. She needs attention and she needs sympathy. And when she picks her up and she holds her, that old magic lights up in her heart. And as the child lays her head on her shoulder, she knows exactly why they're working so hard. A little girl, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are 60 and their history spans 40 odd years. They have buried their parents. Now their grandkids are here. There's something about the way they look in each other's eyes that speaks softly about the meaning of a life. And when he puts his arm out to hold her, it feels so familiar and warm. She thinks love is an expanding endeavor till your last breath from the moment you're born. Now she is 80 and she hates being in this nursing home. Her man's been gone now for a long while and she feels so alone. She closes her eyes and she begins to pray that a little comfort might just come her way. And God lifts her up and he holds her. And she remembers this feeling she has. She is not a woman whose life is almost over. She's a little girl being held by her dad. And God, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held by you. And God, love is real simple. Love is real simple. Love is real simple and true.
Oh,
Thanks, Dawn.
beautiful, Don.
Oh,
Thank you so much for that.
beautiful. Thank you so much.
That was wonderful.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, that is the worst ending to a comedy show I could think of right there, boys and girls.
Maybe doesn't think so.
That's right.
Thank you to everybody who comes every week. Thank you to everyone who supports live music, even in this stupid virtual way. But I'm grateful to you all. It means a lot to me. I always have a good Friday after I'm with you on Thursday. So, again, tomorrow's grocery day. If you can throw a couple bucks in the tip jar, we'll give you 2 minutes to do that. And then we will have our after party where we get to hang around and talk. Those of you on YouTube and Facebook, if you want to come and join us over here on Zoom, the information is in the chat. You can cut and paste it and come and join us, but you're welcome to watch from over there anonymously. But we'll see you in just a little while, and thank you from the bottom of my heart, not just for tonight, but for all the support through all these years. I'm telling you, for real, I love you for it, and we'll see you in just a little while.
All right, Don.
24.
All right, here we are back. So thank you, everybody. Let's get our after party started here. But before we do that, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. We're not going to be doing anything that way, but on Thursday. But on the 23rd, I'm going to do a show. So it's going to be a Monday night, and it's for my friend Posey, who is an amputee, and it's to raise money for her amputee organization, who raises money to help out people who've lost limbs over the years and whatever. And so that's going to be on Monday the 23rd if you want to make a note for that. You know, some Thursdays are just impossible. I'm doing some Sundays and Mondays too, but just pay attention and we'll see that. So I want to bring back somebody who's been waiting patiently since 7:10 to who got us off to such a great start this evening. She's a good friend of mine and somebody that I've known quite a long time, and quite a good songwriter and singer, and a friend to everybody in the community. So let's have a nice welcome back for Kirsten Manville.
Hello.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to I was supposed to start recording in March, right before the pandemic hit, and of course the pandemic hit, and I didn't record, but I figured out a way with the producer and engineer I work with to do it safely. So I've been working on this new album that I'm very excited about. I'm excited about the fact that I'm recording and feel like I'm doing something productive. So I'm going to play one of the songs that's going to be on that album. It's called A Real Country Song. A real country song should have a catch in its voice, a cry in the steel guitar. It should pierce your soul with the words in your heart, like it knows just who you are. It should make you long for everything you miss. A real country song should hurt a little bit. A real honky-tonk should have a neon sign, sawdust on the dance floor, pictures of beer and buckets of wings, and someone calling for one more. It should have a jukebox playing Straight and Jones. A real honky-tonk should make you feel a little more alone. And a real drink should have some fire, hard to swallow, with another that follows, to kill the pain you're trying to drown. Yeah, a real drink should burn as it's going down. A real goodbye should rip a hole in your life and tear your heart to shreds. A pain that cuts so deep it makes you bleed, and not just a word that was said. It should leave you looking for a thing you'll never find. A real should leave a piece of you behind. And a real goodbye is the reason why you order that whiskey so strong in a honky tonk with an old jukebox playing a real country song.
Beautiful, Kirsten.
Thank you.
Very beautiful.
That was excellent, Kirsten. Thank you so much. So you'll hang around with us. We'll go around a couple times and we can chat a little bit. Does that work for you?
Sounds great. Sounds
All right.
great.
Good luck with your recording. It sounds like if that's going to be a dose of it, man, I gotta get that record. All right. So one more time for Kirsten Manville.
Hey, Kirsten.
I meant to say at the beginning. Let's hear it again for Don and the great show he just put on.
So now I think the first time that my friend Janet has been with us in the after party, maybe as a cameo one time, as I recall.
I did a cameo at one point.
Yeah, like a superstar appearance. Hey, but this is a real dear friend of mine. She's good to everybody. One of the best guitar teachers probably in the world, I guess. I mean, let's put her in the world category. What do I know? I've never been out of Lynn, but I think the world, but she's just a great friend of everybody in the community, and I'm so delighted for you guys to get to hear her. So how about a nice round of applause for Janet Feld, please?
Yay, Janet.
Thank you so much. Well, thanks so much for inviting me to play, and great to hear you, Kirsten. I haven't heard you in a long time.
I know. I was trying to think about how many.
I think back when Howie Newman and I used to run the open mic in Melrose.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm really looking forward to hearing you too.
Cool. So, I wrote this song in the middle of the night, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and when you have all sorts of perspective, and I was lying in bed and I was on Facebook and I had the laptop on my chest and I'm like, and a friend of mine put a photograph of his the dashboard of his car, and on the dashboard he's got this little plastic Buddha, and the Buddha is drinking a cup of coffee and talking on the telephone. And so I type in the on the what do you call that? In the feed, I'm like, who's the Buddha talking to? And then this song kind of dropped in whole. And who's the Buddha talking to? He's talking on the phone. Who's the Buddha talking to? He's talking on the phone. Jesus, Moses, Joan of Arc, and Muhammad too could be sharing deepest thoughts with him this afternoon. Could be Lao Tzu talking all about the doubted chain, or Lilith on the stars and the phases of the moon. Oh, who's the Buddha talking to? He's talking on the phone. Who's the Buddha talking to? He's talking on the phone. Throughout time when the prophets were called to lead, they took a leap of faith with no guarantees. Every time, every one of them questioned the divine, then chose to show us how to walk in love and peace. So who's the Buddha talking to? He's talking on the phone. Who's the Buddha talking to? He's talking on the phone. So everyone is worthy to heal someone in need. Every day it can be you who gets to plant the seed. An act of kindness seems so small but is bigger than the sea. When someone pays it forward and it ripples endlessly, ripples endlessly, ripples endlessly. Oh, who's talking to you. Could be talking to you.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Janet.
Oh,
nice.
Love that.
Thank
song.
you.
That's great.
Love it.
And I gotta tell you something. That thing is like a worm in my head. I can't. Well, every time I hear it, like it's days before I can get it out. So I think that's a recipe. That just means it's good, right? Like if you can't shake loose of it, that means you hit something with that one. That was really good. So you'll hang around and do a couple rounds, Janet.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, one more time for Janet Fell, please.
Thank you very much.
All right, Janet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure. Now, this is somebody that I've been a fan of from afar for just many years, and Janet actually reached out to him on my behalf. I was too afraid to reach out to him myself, but he was very enthusiastic about coming and joining us. He's coming in from Maryland, and I just want you to, I just can't wait to introduce you to him if you don't know him, and those of you that do know him, how special he is and how good his work is. So please, let's make him feel really welcome here. First time with us, Tom Prasad Rao.
Yay, Tom. Great to see you.
Hey, man, I'm so honored to be here with all of you, Don and Kirsten and Janet. Thank you so much. I'm just going to go dive right into a song.
Okay.
Here we go. It's called Out of the Darkness. One of these mornings, Lord, I swear, I wake up already there, out of the darkness, into the light. It's how I feel when all is wrong, even though I don't belong, out of the darkness, into the light. Out of the darkness, coming out of the darkness. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wasn't really born to run. That's just where I'm coming from. Out of the darkness, into the light. So when I lay me down to sleep, pray the Lord my soul to keep out of the darkness, into the light. Out of the darkness, coming out. Hey, out of the darkness, I wanna live like there's nothing to forgive, no one to betray, nothing left to lay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of these mornings, Lord, I swear, I wake up already there, out of the darkness, into the light. Out of the darkness, into the light.
stunning.
That was incredible.
That was so wonderful, Tom.
Oh, love it.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Thank
You
you.
are really bringing up the property value of our little gathering here. So, are you comfortable hanging around a couple times around and we can chat a little bit next time through?
Yeah, man, I'd love to do that.
All right. Thank you. One more time for Tom Prasad Rao.
Woo!
Tom.
All right, Tom.
Great.
Woo!
All
Yeah.
right, Kirsten, what do you got? Something from the new record, something from the old record, something from the next record after this next record? What do you got?
I'm gonna do actually a really old one. First of all, I just want to say that when we were playing live shows, in the round shows were one of my favorites because I felt like I got the best of both worlds. I got to play a show and hear a show at the same time, and so yeah, it's just to hear both Tom and Janet so far has been great. So can't wait to hear more. But this is a song I wrote a lot of years ago. It's a little Cowboy Waltz, and usually when I'm playing, if there's room and it's not too dark, I invite the audience to get up and waltz if they would like. So if you at home feel like getting up and waltzing around, you can turn your video off if you don't want to do it in front of everyone. But please feel free. Scotch to wash your memory away. One round clears you right from my mind, fooling my head that I'm okay. And I've left your love behind, but I can't fool my heart. It's gonna take more than water and scotch to stop me loving you. No matter what I try, my heart won't buy the lie. I still fall apart. No, I can't fool my heart. He asked me to dance and I said yes. And I hold him close like it's love, fooled by his warmth and soft caress, that I don't long for your touch, but I can't fool my heart. It's gonna take more than some cowboy's arms to stop me loving you. No matter what I try, my heart won't buy the lie, and I still fall apart. I can't fool my heart. I can't fool my heart. It's gonna take more than cowboys and scotch to stop me loving you. No matter what I try, my heart won't buy the lie, and
Kirsten. Yeah, that's beautiful, Kirsten.
Love it.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
That's
Kirsten,
great.
let's chat a little bit. Even though Kirsten helps me out with some of my business stuff, so we spend more time talking than most people. But let's keep it off of business. Let's talk like we just met. How's that?
Sounds like a plan.
So you lived in Nashville for a while, right? How long did you live there?
I did. I moved there right after college for about 6 years. So I was like 22 when I moved there, and left when I was 28, something like that.
So now that you can look back on your time there, I mean, can you point to how it influenced? Did it have an influence on the direction that you took as a songwriter and all that, or?
Oh, absolutely. People who spend any time in Nashville sort of say they went through the Nashville School of Songwriting, and I would say that's true of me. Just the way I approach my songwriting and the way I try to make many of the lyrics feel colloquial and simple, yet still try to say something that's meaningful. And it was just such a huge learning experience on all levels, both performing down there, but also, I mean, any night of the week you can go into some little smoky bar, that you probably wouldn't pay any attention to if you didn't know better, and walk in and hear just some of the world's greatest songwriters playing, and you can just soak it all in. You become a better writer by osmosis, I think, in a lot of ways, just being there.
Well, it sounds good. I'm probably not going to move there, but I am tempted. Well, so that's great. That's a little insight, and I love the way that you structure your songs. They are that way. They're sort of easy to take in, but there's a lot of body in them. So one more time for Kirsten Manville. We'll go around one more time.
Hey, Kirsten, right from the heart.
Woo!
All right, Janet, what do you got for us? Gotta unmute yourself there.
There we go. Well, oh, Kirsten, that was a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Well, this song is one of when there's not a global pandemic going on. My husband and I we lead small groups on music-focused vacation tours to Ireland, and we were hoping to expand it over to France this year, but next year hopefully. But so I wrote this song the first year that we went in 2016, and one of the things we do with our groups is that we take them out on the saltwater lake in Skibbereen, which is in Cork, County Cork. It's called Lough Kyne, and so this song kind of fell into the boat. It's called Irish Serenade. My oars touch the water, there's stars in the sky, paddling on Lough Kyne on a cool August night. Black ripples light up every time we touch down. Creatures sparkle with each stroke, laughter all around. Skibbereen in summer, an Irish serenade. The Milky Way on Orion shine, like the tiny beings living in the lake. We glide to the other side. There's musicians waiting there with violins and guitars. They sing in a sweet air. It feels like fairies are tagging along, flying through the evening while the band plays a song. Skibbereen in summer, an Irish serenade. The Milky Way and Orion shine, like the tiny beings living in the lake. As above, so below, light and darkness dance. The boat glides faster, rowing slowly, like life that happens while we make other plans. My oars touch the water, there's stars in the sky, paddling on Lochine on a cool August night. Skibbereen in summer, an Irish serenade. The Milky Way and Orion shine like the tiny beings living in the lake. The Milky Way and Orion shine like the tiny beings living in the
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful,
Beautiful,
Janet.
Janet. That was great.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
All right, Janet, let's chat because you and I have never talked that much, have we?
Nah.
Years off over the years, haven't we?
Yeah.
So is that the Innisfree tours that you're talking about with John Smith?
Actually, no. But John Smith, who used to own Innisfree and still runs tours for them, he was really helpful for me. You know, Innisfree run. It's very similar to what Innisfree does, but he was actually really helpful to me when I decided I wanted to take my own groups over there.
I see. So you do it yourself. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, he was just fantastic. I mean, he was helpful to me, and you know, my friend Tom Kimmel, who is also, you know, really brother of a different mother with Tom, and you know, they were all really helpful to me because, you know, I had some support from a friend of mine here in the Boston area who runs a bicycle vacation business. She was a real help to me as well. But, you know, it started out as, wouldn't it be cool, you know, because I wanted to bring a really small group and have a more, you know, create a more intimate experience. And then I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. So to get, you know, to get the kind of assistance I got was really a gift.
Well, I mean, maybe, you know, Janet's information is in the chat if you want to go to Ireland or France with her next year or whatever. You know, she's fun to hang out with. I'll tell you that right now. I did twice the Innisfree tours, and I was really smitten with Ireland.
It's an amazing place.
You know, my wife is a McDermott, so people were like telling her history and all that stuff, and yeah. You know what I think I'd like to do in the back of my mind, like a bucket list thing, is to just go there in the winter. Like, I don't drink or anything, so I wouldn't be in the pubs or anything. I'd like to, like, one day I was in my hotel room and it was pouring out, as you could imagine, occasionally happens in Ireland, and the rain was pouring against the window, and I just started writing like in freehand, like, and next thing I know I had like 7 pages, and I'm like, this is why James Joyce and all these people, because the weather sucks so bad, you're just stuck in the house all the time. I thought maybe I'd just like to go there when nobody wants to go there, when it's crappy and cold, and just write. You know, just let the wind hit the window and the rain, and just channel some Irish writers or something. But
Absolutely. Actually, the first year we went, this gentleman we met told me this joke. He says, you know, how do you tell the difference between winter and summer in Ireland? I said, how? He says, in the summer the rain is warm.
Got the accent in there. I like that.
Before you move on, I just want to say one other thing. Ireland, like, I'm accustomed to being able to hold my own in witty repartee, But I wasn't in Ireland for an hour before I realized that a cab driver, the average cab driver with an 8th grade education, could cut me off at the knees at will anytime they felt like it.
Pretty much.
So I just shut up and like think I should learn. Like this is like I can't really compete at this level with like like quick wit and everything. Like the whole country is that way. I mean, it's like kind of cliche, but it's true. All right. So let's have another hand for Janet. We'll go around one more time. Try to.
Janet.
I get it.
All right, Tom, my friend, my new friend. Well, you got a song for us, and then we'll chat a little bit after. Does that work for you?
That works great. I got the song I'm going to do for you now is the song I wrote. Sorry, is the song I wrote with my friend Grace Pettis.
Tom, can you play the guitar just a little bit first? I want to check your sound. You have your original sound off, right? It says turn off on it.
Yes, it says turn off. Does it
Okay,
sound
good.
weird?
No, but you got because of reverb. I couldn't tell on the other one, so
I should have the reverb muted right now.
Yeah, so that should be good then.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Well, this is a song I wrote with my friend Grace Pettis. She in July sometime she had a conversation with her husband Chris Lopez on Facebook, just like a little sort of stupid little thing, and she said, talking about the changes in their life, well, honey, after all, this is the year of losing things. And I just commented on that thread saying, well, Grace, I can't wait to hear that song. And then she started messaging me saying, let's write it together. And she started throwing out lines, and before you know it, this was the song we ended up with called The Year of Losing Things.
Then losing hope, losing sleep, I lost my mind in the dark and deep. Lost track of time, here goes spring. This is the year of losing things. The ICUs and the I can't breathe. St. Jude, won't you pray for me? Won't you help us to believe? 'Cause this is the year of losing things. Somewhere along this road I lost my way. The trail went cold. Good does it do to gain the world and lose my soul? Not to lose my patience, lose my faith, lose my keys to the pearly gates. Guess nothing's safe as it seems in this year of losing things. This is the year of losing things. Well, I lost some friends in the black and blue, the ones that swear it's all fake news. But if they all think less of me, well, this is the year of losing things. Way down in the rabbit hole, that's where the truest colors show. Guess we'll find out what next year brings after the year of losing things. And I miss your body in my bed. your vibrato in my head, and all the songs we used to sing. 'Cause this is the year of losing things. This is the year of losing things. This is the year of losing things.
Wow, Tom.
Oh, Tom,
Wow.
that was really beautiful.
Love it.
Thank you, guys.
That was
Yeah.
excellent.
Great song.
Oh, man. So can we chat for a little bit? Do you mind if we talk a little? So, who would you say was the early influence on you? You got such a unique style. Can you remember early on what, something that you saw when you were a kid and you thought, oh, maybe I could do this, or something that you heard that didn't quite leave you, that you couldn't get rid of, anything like that?
Yeah, it was like in my 20s, I became a fan of this Canadian singer-songwriter named Bruce Cockburn.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him,
Oh, yeah.
but he's my idol.
We are not worthy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that song, All the Diamonds in This World, it's like my heart song. All the diamonds in this world that mean anything to me are conjured up by wind and sunlight sparkling on the sea. God, man, that just spoke to me. But there's something about his ethic, his view of the world, and also his guitar style is just so unique. And I've tried to mimic certain aspects of his playing, but since my cancer and surgery, I lost a lot of my dexterity, so I kind of had to go back to the basics.
Well, you can, that is, Brandon, if you can, will you put Bruce Coburn's information in the thing? If you guys don't know him, we can
Yeah, I'll look for it.
we can put a little shout out to him. Well, I can hear that in your music now that you say it, especially the sort of writing like that. The writing, the big idea writing like that. It's really very powerful, very, very powerful.
Yeah, it was for me to experience his music. Very powerful.
All right, so now we've documented another piece of history from our guest here. So I think we'll go around one more time, something quick. Like, so we're gonna eliminate, let's see, covers of Alice's Restaurant, Sad Eye Lady, The Lowlands, Inagata Davida. Those are all off the table.
Shit.
Yeah, you were gonna play all three, a medley, right?
The medley, yeah.
But something quick, and then maybe we'll get Tim Mason to do a poem for us before.
Oh, is Tim here?
Tim is hiding over there.
Yeah, he's been there.
Oh, awesome.
So we'll get Tim to do a poem, and I'll do something at the end. We'll try to get this done not too far past 9:30. So Kirsten, and just so everybody knows, if you're still watching on YouTube or Facebook, all you guys, that these folks all have websites. It's all in all of the chats. You can support them. You can buy their music. You can, just tip them if you want, or whatever. These are the pillars of our communities, these artists, and a little bit goes a long way with them all. You can certainly check them out and help them out. So don't forget to do that if you're able to do it. So Kirsten, I know you have a show tomorrow. Is it tomorrow with the songwriters, right? The
Saturday night. Saturday.
Somerville Songwriter Series, right?
Yeah.
And
On Facebook Live. Yep.
And you with some other artists as well?
Yeah, Terry Kitchen and Joshua Garcia.
All right, so that's on Saturday. Check that out. And so why don't you give us a tune to sort of wrap up your section of this thing?
All right. Tom and Janet, you've both taken me many different places tonight, which has been wonderful. Thank you so much. It's really been an honor to share this little song swap with you both. I was going to do American Pie, but that's probably off the So I'll do this song I wrote. This is the a song that just kind of came out of me, just about how music helps me process things, and been needing to do a lot of that in the last 8 months with the state of everything. It's called Some People Sing. I'm looking for melodies that weave and words that rhyme. I'm looking for reasons to believe it'll all make sense in time. And we all have our ways to make it through our days, no matter what they bring. Some people pray, some people drink, and some people sing. I see the lines on my face and the gray in my head. We pretend to age with grace, but the mirror's always there, revealing the truth of our fleeting youth. And we wanna soothe the sting. So some people pray, some people drink, some people sing. These bits of poetry and harmony are what keep me from going insane. This world turns and tosses us cares, then crosses us, but these songs wash me like rain. Sometimes we take off and fly, then we come crashing down. We sit and wonder why we can't get off the ground when we need a little help, believing in ourselves and our tattered wings. Some people pray, some people drink, and some people sing. I'm looking for melodies that weave and words that rhyme.
Oh,
Oh, Kirsten.
thank you so
We
much.
thought it gets better.
To Dawn for inviting me to be part of this tonight. It's really been a thrill. Thank you so much. And thank you all for being here and listening. It's been great.
Thank you, Kirsten. Lovely.
It was great, Kirsten. As always.
All right, so Janet, let's see. I got some other suggestions of songs not to do. No MacArthur Park. So that wipes out your whole catalog, doesn't it?
Pretty much. No Freebird.
No Free Bird. Well, you can do like the first line of all of them. How's that? Thank you so much for being here. You know I love you so much, and I'm glad to see my friend.
Well, I love you back, Dawn, and thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about you, and just talking about how much I appreciate that. You know, we've been friends for a long time. You know, and that's always such a treat to get to. You know, just have layers and layers, the layers and layers of good stuff that happen when you're friends with someone for a long time.
It's easy to let people go, but the ones that you don't, they're in a special category, right? Because you have to work to keep them, right? You have to reach out to them once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, anyway, so thanks for inviting me to be here, and thanks for all of you who are listening. It's really a treat. And Kirsten and Tom, wonderful to hear you both. And Tom, I hope we get to hang out at the ranch sometime. You know. God, I think I've known you almost 30 years too.
It's been almost that long.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Kate Wallace sent me this picture from 2000, from your wedding. Look at that.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah. John Organ took the picture.
Wow.
I can't believe that was 20 years ago.
I can't either.
So speaking of Kate, Kate Wallace is one of my most favorite humans on the planet, and one of the most amazing singers and songwriters I've ever known. And so there's been a bunch of times where John and I have been able to go out to California where she lives, and she and her sweetheart Dougie, also wonderful musician Doug Clegg, and they host these gatherings in Big Sur. God knows what will happen now with after COVID and all the fires and stuff, but we've spent time camping out there in Big Sur, and through them we met this gentleman named Lauren Solon. And I wrote this next song with him one day, sitting under the trees, the redwood trees in Big Sur. And it's a true story that he and his wife Linda told me about their son Kai, who's now in his 30s. But the story took place when their son was about like 3.5, 4 years old. It's called Real Again. Little man in his car seat, talking up a blue street. Mile after mile we tune him out. Suddenly it's quiet, but that's not his style. We turn around to see what it's about. When in a voice not quite his own, he said, "You know, this is all just a dream." We asked, "What do you mean?" He said, "This life is part of God's dream, and when we die it will be over, and we'll be real Little man in his car seat, talking up a blue street. His mom and I are speechless for a while. I said, "I've been searching for truth in those books and gurus, but it's come to us in our child." When in a voice not quite his own, he said, "You know, this is all just a dream." We asked, "What do you mean?"
Janet, your
beautiful,
voice
Janet.
is just divine. Just
Oh,
divine.
Beautiful,
I love
beautiful.
it.
thank
Brought
you
me right
very
back-
much.
Brought me back to
Hey.
Big Sur. Thank you.
Janet, you're the best, man. You know, you just bring such great energy with you. Janet is an excellent guitar teacher. If you know anyone that needs somebody who will be gentle with you and really cares about how you feel when you're intimidated by other guitar players and all that stuff, she's just the best. So I recommend her highly. One more time for Janet Feld, please.
Hey, Janet.
Thanks.
Awesome.
You know, if you're wondering, just so you know, if you're wondering about, you know, like, I think you should be as picky about choosing your guitar teacher as you are about choosing a therapist or a primary care physician. So if you sign up on my mailing list, you'll get a series of free video guitar lessons for people who are rank beginners, and so then you can check it out and you know, try out the merchandise for free.
Might be a nice Christmas holiday gift for somebody. How about that? We're pushing
Yeah.
swag here tonight. This is really just a concert about sales, really.
Well, I do have a slot. I do have a slot open for one slot available right now for a private student, and generally I have people do a sign up for a tryout lesson first, and then, you know, before committing to a whole semester. So definitely contact me if you're interested.
All right, one more time for Janet Feld, please.
Yay,
Thank you.
All right, Tom, you know, it's really meant a lot for me to have you here. I hope that you feel comfortable. If you have an event coming up or anything like that, pop by. Even if we're full of artists at the end, I'll drag you out and get to you know, and try to get you to play a song and promote whatever you're doing. The audience here on all three platforms is really good about supporting the other artists, and you know, we're just kind of here to serve everybody as best we can. So
thank you, Don. Thank
all right. So do you want to take us home? As
sure. This is a song I wrote, I think in April, before the George Floyd murder and the protests ensuing from that. There were protests in April that were because the country was shut down and people were losing work and couldn't pay their bills and couldn't pay their rent, and so they were protesting. And I saw on my news feed there was a protest in Nashville with this woman holding up a sign saying, "Sacrifice the weak, reopen Tennessee." And I saw that sign, and you know, in the middle of chemotherapy at the time, I was thinking, man, that's a death sentence for me. And it made me upset and angry, and I stewed on it for a while, and then I started thinking about the woman holding up the sign, and I thought, man, who do you have to be to hold up a sign like that? And I thought to myself, man, you know, if that was me maybe 15 years ago and my stepdaughters were young and I just lost my job and I couldn't put food on the table and they were hungry, I'd be holding up a sign too. So it gave me a little insight into the woman holding up the sign, and I wrote this song for her. It's called Even You. Oh, let me change these settings here for a second. Here we go. It's called Even You.
You hold up your protest sign. It feels like the end of times. It's looking tough tonight in the land of the free. It's right on my Facebook feed, all there for the world to read. And my heart starts to bleed. So this is from me. Whoever you are, It's nothing that you can't overcome. And whatever it is you're still going through, even so, even now, even you, the world makes us enemies, but that's not who you are to me. And I will still believe that we could be friends. I'm sure that you're struggling now. You know I am too, and how. So let's make a simple vow. It's not how this ends. Whoever you are, whatever you've done, it's nothing that you can't overcome. And whatever it is you're still going through, even so, even now, even you, when it's impossible to right the wrong, there's still a refuge where we both belong. And wherever that is, we'll make it through. Even so, even now, even you, even so, even me, even you.
Oh, wow. Tom, that was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Oh, man, you know, it's not easy to make me speechless. Many people have tried, but I think maybe there was a corner of me that was wounded. Now it feels a little healed right there, and that is no short accomplishment in this world. I think I'm glad to be living in the same time as you, my friend. So,
my brother, man.
you know, all of you guys now, if you haven't seen the work of these artists before, you know, keep them on your radar. You know, they're doing things that matter in the world, and you know, drop by and see them, see what they're doing. You know, spread it around. Okay, so one more time for Tom Prasada Rao.
Thank you so much, Tom.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, so I'll tell you what now. So I generally will wrap this up with a song myself, but you guys, you know, it's 9:30. You know, I know you got a long ride home, and
No poetry?
it's not 9:30 in California, is it?
No, we're still ready to party, mister.
All right, so I want to ask Tim Mason if he wants to do a poem. What do you think, Tim? You know, I know you're reluctant to read poetry in this world, so can I push you just a little bit for that? What do you think?
Oh, sure. Is there a particular poem? I'm sitting here from the urology department in Worcester right now, working on computers.
Well, better you working on their stuff than them working on yours.
Absolutely.
I'm doing all the work here.
Absolutely.
Well,
All right. So you want a poem here? I got one.
it's not too much trouble, sir.
No. Thank you for asking.
Sure, buddy.
So let's see. This is another one of those poems when I've gone on and found myself on an interspecies journey. And this one was written one afternoon after I had been a worm. Hiding in the sludge, we make our ways through tunnels unseen to visions unseen by human eyes. Moving earth through our bodies, we swim through the soil, making currents around the stones, excreting to nourish roots that break the topsoil, bringing us communion with the sky. It is this simple thing we do that matter to the trees that breathe life to a suffocating orb of rock and ozone whose seismic gyrations erupt, flipping the script on mammals whose brains delude them to the fantasy of importance. We do not brag nor aggrandize. We will never boast. We eat earth. Let our egos grow into separate beings, dividing when they get big enough to have their own opinion. This is how we breed, blessing and releasing ourselves. When the going gets extreme, we begin again to feed the trees in the slow exhale of being alive. For we know that to be free is to be a tree, pushing roots deeply into the soil, pulling in nourishment and life. To be free is to be a tree, to reach for the heavens and find them, new life through the cycles and seasons of changes, and yet to be constant with purpose, to grow and become what you are. To be free is to be a tree.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, let me play this tune here. Tim, thank you so much. You're the best. We make sure that the the urology department can get online. Very important for my PSA test and all that stuff that I need.
Absolutely.
And let me just do this tune. That'll end the entertainment part of this thing. And if Tim, if you want to hang out and talk a little bit with anybody that's here, we can do that. But you're all free to go. You're always free to come and go. Thank you so much to Tom Prasadaro,
Yeah.
Greenfield, and Kirsten Manville. And let's thank Brandon on the technology, making everybody sound so good.
We
All
love
right,
you, Brandon.
This feels like the right one to end up with. This is a song called Angel in Pieces, and it's about believing in people when they're not well enough to believe in themselves. Here, I'm so into it, I don't need to see anything. She walked into the room like she was walking off. Wait a second. She walked into the room like she was walking off a cliff. In my mind I said, what kind of shattered angel is this? Her walk said, I've surrendered. In her face, I've had enough. Her eyes were holes, they were dark and cold. They said, I've given up. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. You know, life rains down so hard upon some people that we know. It tears their faith and their hope away, and they walk around like ghosts, and we see them as they are breaking. And as their spirit dies, but deep inside, we still believe they will come alive and fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this she could walk across the sky. And those old dark eyes are so alive, they set the room on fire. This is no shattered angel, I say to myself. I feel Zuzu's petals, I hear one small bell. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Look how beautiful you are. Thanks for another great Thursday night.
Thanks, guys.
Ta-da! All right. Well, so we're done with this. You're all, if you're tired or whatever, you can go, but we can just unleash it and we can chat, hang out. What the hell else do we got to do?
Say bye to everybody on Facebook and YouTube first.
Goodbye, Facebook. That's over there. Goodbye, Facebook. Oh, did I say it was the other way? That's YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye, Facebook. See you later. Thanks for playing along.